I think there was a lot of hope in this area based on his ties here when you were hired that maybe you and Chad Boudreaux would get back together and be able to kind of reunite things over there in Macomb and at Western Illinois University. So what does he mean to your staff? And from your standpoint, what's it like for you to kind of rekindle that relationship from a coach standpoint?
Well, first of all, personally, we're really good friends. I really enjoy him and his family. I've got a lot of respect for him as a coach, as a recruiter. I mean, we have a lot of successful years together. But on the selfish side, it's just in order to do this job and do it well, I knew I was going to need a guy like Chad, and I needed to have him specifically. So I'm really excited that we have a chance to work together.
Do you think that's good for the area as well? Just his ties to Southeast Iowa, just kind of bring it home with you guys a little bit?
Yeah, and we did a lot of recruiting in this area when we were in Milwaukee together. And then obviously since he's been up at Highland, he's been doing the same things. And now coming down from Minneapolis and then coming from Vegas, then to Minneapolis, and now here, it's really important that you have that local flavor, right? You have to take care of your home base. Chad does that for us.
Nicker was a nice surprise, I think, to everybody, and you said a lot of tongues wagging yesterday when that happened. Obviously, you're trying to get into Chicago. He opens a lot of doors.
He does, and it's not just in Chicago, but it's more on a national level because of his ties to the AAU program that his family, that his dad started. But more importantly, he has high energy, loves to develop players, and he's done a heck of a job doing that. And, being from Chicago, and this is my second time being a head coach, I understand some things that are a little more important. And I think reaching back and helping guys, especially coaches from that public league in Chicago, I felt was really important. And I wanted to make sure I did that.
You did that, but Nick's also got a reputation for being a relationship guy as well. And that serves you well as well for what I think you put out as a staff, doesn't it?
And it's all about complementary pieces, right? And making sure you have guys that fit your personality, that work well together, and that you can work with. So I feel like we hit a home run, and I hit a home run with the staff that I put together.
Is it good to finally just have it in place? Because I know, you've been working your tail off since you got to Macomb.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. It's been really fast. It's been good. I think this time has been a difficult time in a lot of other ways, but for us on the basketball side, or at least for me, it's been it's kind of, I haven't really skipped a beat. It just kind of kept rolling. Was able to get to Macomb, get some things going really fast. But the process of hiring took a little longer. It was a little slower process than I had hoped for. But things are going good right now.
6 incomers and 1 transfer, and that's a big flash for you. And obviously, I think it speaks to people about what you do with this roster, at least this first class. What do you like about that group as a collective?
Well, we tried to find pieces, and I tried to find pieces that all fit together. And what I tried to do is make sure that I was trying to balance out some of the classes. Trying to make sure that I had guys that were going to do some of the dirty work, some guys that would defend. Because, for us, being a Leatherneck, it's about being tough, right? We have to guard. We have to be tough. We have to be resilient. We're climbing ourselves out from the bottom of this league and trying to get to the top. So it's going to require a really special effort. So I really feel like we've addressed that with some of the toughness. I think we addressed it with some of the maturity that we've added. When you revamp a whole roster, you just can't go all small, all younger players and inexperienced players. That's a whole nother can of worms or a learning curve that you have to have. So I think I've tried to eliminate that. And now it's just kind of adding a couple fine pieces to this group. But looking at it from a total perspective, I think the maturity piece, the intangible piece with some of these guys, and the toughness, I think we were able to add that.
That's a macro little thing, Rob. You did recruit a lot of JUCOs because you touched on that, but that's not necessarily going to be endemic of what all your classes look like, right? You're a guy that will do whatever you need to fit whatever the construction of roster you're looking for is. That road, correct?
Yeah, well, so far I've got in at least we signed 1 freshman. We'll probably look to maybe add another freshman or maybe a player with 3 years left. It was just all about trying to make sure that in our league, the teams that are older, more mature, are the teams that have had more success. And in this climate that I took the job in, it was really important that we tried to figure out a way to be able to compete right away. In order to do that, we had to rely on relationships to get players who I felt like typically Western probably would not have been able to get. So we relied heavily on some relationships, and now I'm going to rely heavily on some older players to kind of get us through this first stretch.
There was a lot of initial positive buzz about your hire, but what we're hearing now talking to coaches, even lower level coaches, is still a sense of excitement about you being there, what you're getting done, and having Rob Jeter and home to turn this thing around the way that people think it should have been turned around years and years ago. What are you hearing, when you're getting into home talking to people? Because I know your conversations aren't just now recruits, but you're talking to a lot of people. What's the reception been like on your end, and what are you feeling from the vibe of all of this?
Well, I was a head coach for 11 years, right? I've been around a little bit. I know I look young, but I've been coaching now for 20, so I won't give you the exact number.
Must be nice to look young, by the way.
Well, I hope I do. I probably shouldn't have said that. Some guys, I know he looks old. He looks old as dirt. But no, I say that in a sense that I really think that I've been able to establish some really good relationships, and obviously people are excited. And I've also leaned on some of those to kind of help get this thing jump started. But for me personally, it's flattering to see people that are excited. I think that raises the expectations that from the outside for this program. It's something that we definitely want to raise the bar with this program, and it's had success. Coach Mo's did a great job a few years back. I know the job that some of these other guys and the effort that they put into getting this thing going, and it was just you could tell that they were grinding. I think with us being a veteran staff, hopefully we can kind of get over that hump and get it back to where it has been before in the past.
I know you addressed a lot of this in recruiting, but your biggest concern going to this thing with the current roster construct of the people that you have and kind of going into season, and I know you're still pushed away from that with all we're going through with COVID-19 and everything, but your biggest concern, I guess, looking at your roster, what are the concerns you, I guess, about the construct of how it is right now?
Honestly, when I took the job, I looked at it was a clean slate. And I looked at it as the first job I took, first time I was a head coach. I thought that was, looking back on it, was probably one of the toughest situations to go into. Following Bruce Pearl, legend coach, probably could be a Hall of Famer. I would vote for him as a Hall of Fame coach in Division I. Took a team that had never won. Took over a program that was really similar to a Western in a lot of respects, and took them to the Sweet 16. So how do you follow that, right? You just don't mess it up. It's kind of like the whole deal was, right? So now I'm coming into something that's opposite. I'm coming into a Macomb like I did with Coach Bo Ryan when we came into Milwaukee before Pearl. So the structure's there, the bones are there. It's just a matter of now just adding the right pieces. And I watched how Bo parlayed his relationships into getting players, and it was easy for me as an assistant for him to go into places and say, hey, come play for Bo. Oh, yeah, I know Bo. And we were able to get some players and kind of got that thing jump started. I see some similarities right now just because I've been around a little bit, and I didn't really have a lot of concerns. My biggest concern was getting my family down there and hoping getting them acclimated, because they've lived in Milwaukee, Las Vegas, and now the Twin Cities. And now I have to bring them to a really small community in Macomb, which is going to be fun for us. I know it's going to be fun because my wife and I spend time in Platteville, which is a smaller community. But my kids haven't. So my biggest concern was them.
The coaching life. And you kind of beat me to the punch here because I wanted to ask you. Obviously, Macomb's a unique community. You're a little bit isolated with the way we are now, but how have you guys kind of found at this point? And was it what expected when you walked in the door into the community itself? And obviously, I know there's a great administration with Danielle and everything going on.
Yeah, and I know Danielle and our president, I owe them a lot for giving me a second chance and giving me this opportunity. And we're going to just take it and run with it and do the best that we can to make everyone proud. But the community, I've fallen in love with Macomb. I think it's a place where I know my family and I, we're going to enjoy it. It's got some really good people there. Everyone's been nice. Everyone's been friendly. When I look at the campus, I see a lot of people that look like me, that I'm comfortable with. So I think that it's going to be fine. I really am looking forward to moving down there full time. I'm still in Minneapolis right now, but I'm in the process of making my way down to Macomb.